This video, I just want to talk about why the first £10,000 is the most difficult one. Probably for you, but for me, it's 100%. And if you have followed me so far, if you watched my video, you know that I came into the UK 15 years ago. I spent my first 4 years doing my university, and I only started proper career in jobs about 10 years ago. And obviously, I only have £30,000 salary in the first 3 years because I work for a quite small consultancy boutique, and they're offering my work visas as well. Because of that, if you work out the math, I only have about £2,000 after taxes if I have about £30,000 salary. £2,000 not a lot because I work in the Southeast region or area of the UK, which is one of the most expensive area. And I spend about £650 at share houses en suite, the only luxuries I have, and then about £350 for food. And then if you do the math, I left about £1,000. That's not including all the utilities, phone bills, and entertainment and all that. So every month I able to save about, in order to have £10,000, you basically have to be antisocial for 2 years. That's literally what I did. And I don't have a lot of friends. I don't go out for drinks because I can't afford that. And I just spend most of the time watching animes and spend all the time in my luxuries en suite with the house share. And that's lasted me about 2.5 years to get into that £10,000 because as an Asian I also need to send money home as well. So that took me about 2.5 years to get that first £10,000. It's quite significant for me, hence why I'm making this video to talk about some of the pain points, and it's that how we can do it better. If we've got a chance again to do it again, I'll probably do it differently rather than put it back. And certainly this is not an investment video to talk about we do investments and all that, but kind of talk about I felt like there's a better way to do this to get that first £10,000 quickly, and then you can get into £100,000 even more quicker. So the first one is, I think, it's psychological barriers. It's not like you have traumas that you don't like money or anything. It's more like the lack of experience. I'm not sure why I put that in psychological experience, but anyway, it's lack of experience, that's financial experience, why saving that hardcore money, it's important, the first one, obviously, but at the same time, there is also a better way to do this. For example, into the ISA, you're part of the UK, then you know that the ISA account, tax right account that you can put into any capital gain within that account, you don't need to pay tax on it. But if I've done it, £500 into ISA account, I probably would get into £10,000 a lot quicker, and I can extract the money a lot quicker as well. But then I didn't have the knowledge, financial knowledge on that. And people might say there's a stock market, the money will go down and go down, but if I knew things like S&P 500, or I knew about what's blue chip companies, BPs, Apples, and all that, if I bought those companies, took the risk, probably would gain more, and rather than just sitting around, just waiting and save £500 a month. So that's the first thing, I think, lack of knowledge. And the secondly is taking risk, which is kind of the thing that I felt like if I have the knowledge, I will be more chances to take the risk to do that, kind of buying stocks in ISA, £10,000 a lot quicker. But overall, that two things is in tandem. I think first you have to have that knowledge. So pretty much, if you don't have that, start read about it and also make more videos about it, how to get into in a good financial state. And then secondly, it's really about taking the risk, but also not taking your £500 money to go and gamble about it, but rather, I think what I want to say is you're more prone to take that risk, and I would say it's a calculated risk than anything else. Second bit is the practical challenges, right? It's also about your earnings, which is the most important things. Like you're earning £100,000 a year, then saving that £10,000 only takes you 3 months. But it took me to save that £10,000. But back then, everyone has a starting place, and I just saw that a lot of people in Reddit, other places that people talk about how difficult it is to starting out in the UK, inflations and all that. But even so 10 years ago when I first came to the UK, people moaned about the same thing as well. Inflation, high utility fees, bills very high, things are expensive. It's pretty much the same formula, a way that people can take anyway. It's a lot harder than me, by the way, back then to have a higher salary, because I was on a work visas, and anyone who knows that with anyone with the work visas, you cannot really work on a second job. So if you need to work on a second job, you need to declare that, you need to declare everything else, let me know, anything like that. But because I wanted to make sure that it doesn't impact my indefinite leave to remain, I stay quiet with consultancies I first worked with, which is my graduate job, and doing quite well actually. The salary is a bit poor, but still I stayed there for 5 years, and for those who are watching this video, you don't have that kind of restrictions, you can work a lot more. I think for this instance, a lot of things can be done. You can pick up different jobs straight away. A lot of people be in DevOps 2 years, jump to contracting, significant more money than permanent, obviously, and then get more experience. Or even back then, I should have taken risk. What I mentioned just now, financial risk, you can take, or flipping burgers, open a store, selling some stuff. There's a lot of things you can do. Imagine a guy who came into the UK that barely speak English and then pretty much able to work his way up, although it takes a bit of time, for 10 years. But hence what I'm trying to say is that if you know the language, you know the cultures, there is always a way to work around. And then probably the last section of this video, because I'm mumbling as well, is the strategies to overcome the challenge. And my ideas back then, because I do not have any financial literacies, the Asian background and more traditional families, everyone just, the stocks, save money, your head down, just work. And that is not a good idea. And back then I have a strong bias as well, saying I would need to hide in the corner and work, and then I can come out as a hidden dragons or hidden tigers or whatever that will make a lot of money. That doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Hence why I'm making a YouTube video right now. Though not trying to make a YouTube video about making money, but rather socializing is very important. That's one of the strategies I want to mention, is that knowing the problem is number one, important. And then secondly, once you have the knowledge, you take the risk. And the third one is that you still have to have the strategy to overcome it. My honest opinion is that back then, when first graduate jobs, my surroundings always graduate people, and barely I have the guts or have the realizing skills to talk to senior people who are earning a lot more than us, because I realized that that's really important. So I felt like that is something that I should share. And ultimately, I think the first three things that will make your life really different if you want to save that first £10,000 is not to, obviously you can't spend like that, but you have to save the money. Read about financial stuff as well. It's not cryptos. Well, crypto's still a good money opportunity if you know how. That's why I'm saying the knowledge is important. And for me, I think if I have the chance to restart again, I did mention that the financial literacy is really important. I will learn more about stocks, and then once I learn more about it, I will have a more calculated risk that I can take. I will still start my ISA a lot earlier. 10 years ago, I had my ISA built in just £500 a month, and guessing by S&P 500 growing rate, probably will have more than £300,000 and £400,000 even. Is that exaggerant amount? But it's still a ridiculous amount of money to have if I started 10 years ago. But this video is pretty crap. I just kind of doing that because I felt like I need to talk about some of the things that I would like to talk about, and to myself actually, rather than to anyone else. But if you found this video helpful, then leave a comment down below. And sorry about rambling, because I don't have any scripts behind of it. I just felt like it's better to just talk about it, and I'll keep on improving doing this YouTube video until I found a thing that's my experience that can help any one of you. So that's another video. Have a question, leave your comments down below. If you like the video, subscribe. I will see you in my next video. Thanks.